second. But first, let's put a shout out right now for www.mypillow.com. That's www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. That's www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul. Buy one, get one free. But it's not just that. Mike is absolutely insanely putting deals out that it just doesn't make sense. He is slicing prices now. Guys, unbelievable. The sheets. He's moving sheets and pillow shams and slippers and blankets and, oh my Lord have mercy, just everything you can imagine at reduced, ridiculous prices. Plus, his brand new pillow, patented My Pillow 2.0, buy one, get one free if you use the promo code Paul. So do this, guys. Go right now to www.mypillow.com/Paul. Use the promo code Paul, and you'll be glad you did. Get those. You got to try that new pillow. You'll love it. When you do, you're going to get two of them. So order one and get one free. Wow.
Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador has recently been offering advice to the United States on how to improve its affairs, including taking better care of children, reducing drugs and guns, and keeping its law enforcement and military off Mexico's turf. Despite the unusual commentary, Lopez Obrador's rhetoric has proven popular, especially as he appears to be standing up to the United States and asserting Mexico's sovereignty. Some observers, however, believe that Lopez Obrador may be using these statements as a distraction from domestic issues and failures, as reported by AOL. Earlier this week, Lopez Obrador criticized Washington for its, quote, abusive meddling and, quote, vulgar behavior following the announcement by the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration that it had infiltrated the Sinaloa cartel, which was once led by Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. The Mexican president accused the DEA of, quote, espionage for not notifying Mexican authorities. As usual, there was no official response from Washington, which seems to have decided not to engage in Lopez Obrador's increasing verbal attacks. Both the Trump and Biden administrations have relied on Mexico to help prevent migrants from entering the United States. To prepare for a possible evacuation of U.S. Embassy personnel from Sudan due to the current uncertain situation and fighting between two warring factions, the Pentagon is deploying additional troops and equipment to Camp Lemonnier. Biden administration officials, speaking on condition of anonymity, confirmed the deployment and the necessity of the move. Planning for a potential evacuation began after the U.S. Embassy convoy was attacked in the Sudanese capital of Khartoum on Monday. While the Pentagon did not disclose details about the deployment or the location, it issued a statement on Thursday stating that it will provide, quote, additional capabilities to the region to potentially facilitate an evacuation of embassy personnel if necessary, the Associated Press has reported. According to John Kirby, a spokesperson for the National Security Council, President Joe Biden made the decision to prepare for a potential evacuation in the last few days. Kirby stated that the president had given authorization for the military to begin pre-positioning troops and equipment and to create potential options for the situation. He provided this information to reporters at the White House. As the fighting between the warring factions in Sudan continues, the United States has been considering the evacuation of its government employees from the country. The employees have been relocated from their residences to a secure location in preparation for this possibility. The administration has decided that in the small country of Sudan, the Gulf of Aden between Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Somalia will serve as probably the best staging point for any evacuation or operation. However, given the current situation, any evacuation poses considerable difficulties and security risk, as Khartoum's airport remains non-functional and overland routes out of the capital are long and hazardous even without ongoing hostilities. U.S. President Joe Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy are addressing different groups of people with opposite approaches as the nation faces a looming crisis over the national debt. While the Republican leader took to Wall Street to set forth his terms for raising the country's borrowing limit, the Democratic president has planned to speak out against Republicans for, quote, holding hostage the nation's ability to pay its debts at a union hall in Maryland on Wednesday. Now, according to experts of his speech, Biden planned to criticize McCarthy's MAGA economic vision as, quote, the same old trickle-down dressed up in MAGA clothing, only worse, as reported by the Associated Press. Both leaders need to work together to secure U.S. economy, but they are banking on opposite strategies to appeal to their respective audiences. Now, despite the lack of active negotiations between the two parties thus far, they have engaged each other only to provide ammunition for attacks. McCarthy has criticized Biden, accusing him of, quote, bumbling into a default by refusing to meet with him. In response, Biden has accused McCarthy of being the first speaker to default on the national debt by threatening to do so unless he receives what he wants in the budget, the AP reported. A failure to reach an agreement between Congress and Biden regarding the debt limit in the coming weeks may result in the government's inability to pay its bills, potentially leading to a disastrous impact on the economy.